maybe slow down. I feel like I have lived my life, especially from 20 to 30 years old. I really hurried. I lived the life twice as its speed. I think I was really eager. I'm afraid of missing out. But actually, I think we can enjoy a little bit.
Leadership is not about achieving success, but about inspiring and empowering others to do the same. My next guest on the 1% Project is Zhang. An exemplary business executive and a visionary entrepreneur, Susan has a remarkable career spanning 3 continents. With an impressive legacy through her work with Google, ByteDance, Amazon, and Canva, she effectively combines technical prowess with commercial acumen. She is a published author, a dynamic and an inspirational speaker, and a valued mentor for young entrepreneurs worldwide. Join me in this episode of the 1% Project as I speak to Susan about her unconventional career trajectory, her book, Life Outside My Comfort Zone, and her strategies for a successful career. Subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to it, and sign up to the 1% Project's Think newsletter at 1%.live, which brings highly curated content that adds value to your professional and personal development. Stay till the end, where I summarize the takeaways from the conversation with Susan. So life for you started in China, and by the age of 30, you had been to every continent, including Antarctica. Worked for Google, Amazon, TikTok, been an entrepreneur and a venture capitalist, and now at Canva. Can you unpack that journey?
I hope I can unpack it in 5 minutes. I guess for me, the first step is to go study in Australia, where I am now. At that time, it's not really by choice. My university at the time in China, in Henan province, has this educational program with University of Wollongong. And for UW, is really strong in engineering and computer science. So I came here to study software engineer. That's how I started. And after I studied, I feel like I really like the climate here. I want to keep learning English and see if I can be independent. It's like my parents flying the kite. And one day I have the scissors and say, "Hi, let me see if I can fly, have the free soul and have the spirit." So that's how I started internship in Australia as a software engineer for around 3 years in a local company. And during that time, I also helped them to set up the first office in Fujian. And that's very interesting and showed me the other side of the things I can do outside coding. So basically, rather than just talking to the code behind the screen, perhaps I can interact with people as well. And from there, I went to Google. I met the recruiter at dinner called Geek Goes Dinner in Sydney. The recruiter said, "Do you want to try an interview with Google?" I thought if I just apply by myself, I probably never have a chance. But then I thought, then let me try the interview. So I went through all that. And that started my tech journey, I think, more properly in the past decade, I guess. 4 years in Google, 2 years in Sydney, 2 years in London. And then after that, quit the comfortable bubble to ByteDance before everyone know about it. And I went back to Beijing and China and helped them with global public policy. And after that, I did my MBA in London Business School, Columbia University and Hong Kong University together for 2 years. That's half of the time offline before COVID and half of the time online, unfortunately. But that was really fun, and that's how we know each other, I guess. And then with the whole loop, came back to Australia and joined Amazon to help them to build international presence, to bring international sellers onto Amazon.com.au so that you can have Korean beauty product, facial mask, and Japanese drinks, and a whole bunch of things into Australia market. After that, I went to Canva, which is where I am at the moment, online design platform to empower everyone to be a future designer or current designer, where you don't need to worry about the complexity of the tools, where you can focus on your ultimate goal to create your business proposal, your logo, and the purpose of your business or NGO or education, things like that.
Let's talk about different career moves. You were technical creative specialist at Google and partnerships and public policies at TikTok, then country development in Amazon, and now product localization at Canva. These are diverse roles. So what is the common thread among them?
Yeah, great question. I think I stand for constantly experiencing new things and take a leap into new challenge outside of the comfort zone. I think that's probably one of the common things through all the different roles. Obviously, I studied computer science, I studied C++, Python, definitely not how to do business, how to negotiate with difficult sales partner. No, I think I learned hard lessons while I'm working, but I really curious to learn about how to interact with people. We are living in a human society. Everything is negotiating. You are negotiating everything with everyone, right? Negotiating with your parents, negotiating with your kids to have the last bottle or go to sleep right now. You are negotiating with your boss for salary, or you are negotiating with anyone or someone in front of your line. So I found that's quite interesting. So I feel like my career trajectory isn't linear for a reason. I enjoy learning at different roles and then be able to use that to create value for different roles. So when I was creative specialist for Google, I helped the top company, for example, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Burberry in the UK, or Booking.com in Amsterdam to help them to have this global campaign for Super Bowl, for the September fashion shows, all that sort of thing. And I feel be able to help them to identify the audience and send the message out in 6-second ads, not to annoying people, but make people feel love, feel special, and pass on that message super clear in 6 seconds. That's magic. I want to be able to create that magic. I want people to appreciate advertising and see it in a different lens. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I want to put fresh perspective in the things I want to do, so that I don't feel like working just for the money, but actually I feel like I'm trying something new. I'm trying to advance it and make it better for someone else. I guess that's the backbone of how I hooped onto different roles and experiencing and learning at the same time.
I think that has been a fascinating career journey across continents, across cultures, across people, and across teams. I think what you probably bring to the table is an encyclopedia from technology to the end consumer, sales, negotiation, marketing, and even operations. You have even authored a book, The Life Outside My Comfort Zone. So what is that?
Wow. So that book was published in 2019. So by now is 4 years. And it's been a very interesting journey. First I thought, should I try write a book in English or Chinese? And I thought, okay, I probably not really well in English at all. But a lot of people ask me, how do you manage your time? How do you manage your career? So eventually it became a book of 12 chapters, 9 in English, 3 in Chinese, trying to push all the English audience outside the comfort zone to read the Chinese. It's very subtle, but it's probably a little bit hard on the readers. That's how the book idea came around, pretty much because of the demand. While I was writing it, I also went to Burning Man in the US, where, the CEO at that time of Google, they often went to Burning Man for 2 weeks. And that's the first time I experienced the temporary city, experience the culture of giving and not expecting something coming back. And I feel, maybe this is literally how they developed the culture at Google. And funny enough, the first Google Doodle is literally from 1989, I think, the Burning Man event. That's the first Google Doodle. That's how inspiring for the founders to pass on that legacy into a corporate environment. And that made me wonder, from a company that small to almost 25 years old now, the company is essentially an ecosystem as well. So all of that linked together, I put into the book is almost like how's my life strategy come into play with a professional working and then personal time management. How do I manage different projects at the same time while I'm travel, study, or working at the same time? How to balance or have it all? Why girls can't have it all? We can. If we dream big, we can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can do it, right? That's how the book idea came along. And I had editors rigorously to help me editing it. I cried, I cursed over many versions of it, and finally published in 2019. And currently it has the second edition with a hard copy. That's how the book idea came along.
Tell us 3 of your most productive tools. What are they and how do they help you?
On top of my mind, definitely Google Keep. So I use Google Keep between my husband and myself personally. So it's much easier to share and think. We have this family account where you can take notes, you can go shopping, and it always have the latest copy. It's much easier for us to coordinate the calendars or to-do list between the shared responsibility for our daughter. So that's one. Professionally, I use Monday.com. Monday.com, you can create any workflow to manage something like marketing or CRM. A lot of HR or software development company, I think they're using it, or even video production like this. So it's very good for team to collaborate. Basically, everyone can drag and drop their different tasks into the week, and then you can have a view of what is my team achieved in the past week, past quarter. You can set seasonal strategic goals. I think that's very important for companies who have year-round planning phases where you can tick off what is in progress, have done, or about to happen. Another one, of course, Canva, because you can create any of the template. One of the favorite templates, I think you must hear of it, is the Eisenhower matrix, the priority matrix. So literally it's my wallpaper. It have these great metrics and to show you how you prioritize a list of tasks or agenda item by first categorize those items according to their urgency and then importance. So essentially urgent, non-urgent, important, not important. And with that four things, I have four actions. Do it immediately, schedule it, delegate it to my team or other team or delete it. So that is a template I made with Canva, and on desktop, you can just drag and drop each day and rearrange it. So that's the three tools I use.
Books and blogs. As you said, it's one of your passions. Obviously, you're an author yourself. So 3 books or blogs that have influenced you the most.
I recently finished 2 because literally I can't put them down. The first one is How to Raise Successful People by E70 Draak. So she's a mother of 3, right? She's a mother of the CEO of YouTube, which is also called Susan, the founder of 23andMe in the US, and also a health research scientist. So 3 successful daughters. So literally she written this book and tell people what is her principle and how to raise them when they growing up. There's no Nobel Prize for parenting or education. Maybe there should be. So the book discusses the principle on how she raised the daughters, teaching them, for example, problem solving, explore their passion, develop resilience, and enjoy working as a team. And there's one particular tool, it's called TRICK, which is a short for trust, respect, independence, collaboration, and kindness. I really like that principle, so trying to use that for Ida later on. Last book is called Stories of Your Life and Others. It's a sci-fi short stories by American writer called Zhang. That's the second book. One last book I'm currently reading is slow. It's called The Happiness Industry by William Davis. So that's for my PhD research on educational influencer at the moment. So basically it's discussed why do many successful corporations have a chief happiness officer. And also in the past decade, governments and corporations become increasingly interested in measuring the way people feel. For example, the happiness index, gross national happiness. Well-beings. So the book basically shows how well-being influences all aspects of our lives, business, finance, marketing, and also smart technology, and how government and big business build us well-being concept. So that's for my PhD study.
All the 3 books are great recommendations. Actually, the first one is on my reading list.
Yeah.
I haven't got there yet. I think it will be fascinating to read how she has been able to raise these amazing 3 children. What is your advice to your younger self?
Maybe slow down. As all the question you ask me, I feel like I have lived my life, especially from 20 to 30 years old. I really hurried. I lived the life twice as is the speed. I think I was really eager. I'm afraid of missing out. But actually, I think we can enjoy a little bit. We can slow down. Eventually, we will try so many different aspects and experience. You never know who you're going to meet. you never know what opportunities lies behind you. Maybe you can create your opportunities yourself. So maybe slow down a little bit, just enjoy the moment is what I'm going to tell my younger self. But I know she will hurry and eager to run. But anyway, that's my advice.
And before we close, what is the nicest thing that anybody has done for you?
I think a lot of people showed me kindness. I think my husband, he really know I really like bubble tea. And when we still dating in London, I have a project I have to finish probably by night and send to the client. So I was working really late, probably around 9 or 10 o'clock. And when I went downstairs, I saw my husband at that time, still boyfriend, sitting in the lobby, holding this milk tea in hand and still waiting. I totally forget about it. I think that's really struck me, like someone really care about you, especially we are all overseas. We are like international student. We study somewhere. We always feel like we need to be independent, care for yourself. And that moment really, it touched me a lot. And I feel like I have someone cared me, and it's not just a bubble tea. It's like a genuine heart. But a lot of people done a lot of kindness for me along travel, along all the journey. I think I wrote some of them in the book as well. They made who I am today and pass on the kindness to others. If there's ever a choice between kindness and right, I always choose kind first.
Brilliant. Suzanne, that's a great place to close the conversation. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Susan. Here are the 3 takeaways from this conversation. Number 1. Being open to opportunities and taking the initiative to explore them can lead to unexpected and fulfilling experiences. Number 2. The ability to interact with people and negotiate effectively is important in many roles and can be developed through experience and learning. And number 3. Slowing down and enjoying the moment can be important because life tends to pass by quickly. And if one does not take the time to appreciate the experiences and opportunities that come their way, they might miss out on them. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Share it with someone who will find it valuable. For any recommendations and feedback, you can drop me a line at pritish@1percent.live. That is PRITISH@1ONEPERCENT.live. Until next time.